Considering buying broadband from KCOM and wondering if they're any good? Today, we've reviewed this broadband provider to see if they're worth joining, based on their download and upload speeds, value for money, customer service, add-ons, and more. But before we begin, thanks to 3 for sponsoring this video. Their 5G hub deals offer a simple, cheap way to get online, available throughout most of Hull and the surrounds, with fast download and upload speeds from our testing. So click the link in the description to the 3 home broadband coverage checker and put in your postcode here to see if you can get their 5G hub deals at your address at the moment. So if you've moved to Hull recently, you might not have heard of KCOM before, so let's explain a little bit about them and what services they're offering these days. Basically, KCOM is Hull's version of BT. They have their own broadband infrastructure focused on Hull and the surrounding areas, and historically, they were the only provider of fixed broadband in the city centre, though that's changing in some areas with altnets like Connexin and Hull Fibre. Currently, KCOM is expanding their network a bit outside of Hull, for example in DN and YO postcodes, giving their network more reach throughout Yorkshire. Currently, these are the 3 plans you'll see at most addresses, but the deals on offer, including their pricing, depend on exactly where you live, so click the link in the description to the KCOM website and put in your postcode to see what's on offer at the moment. KCOM's plans come with a static IP address, which is good, because not all providers offer this, and the ones that do normally charge you extra for it. And if you buy broadband from KCOM, you normally need to commit to a 24-month contract, though this isn't the case if you can get one of their flex plans, which is a type of social tariff on offer for people on benefits and some other types of support payments. And it's quite good to see KCOM advertise these so heavily, rather than putting them on a page you'll never see on the website. Unlike most other major providers, KCOM doesn't have a lot in the way of extras or add-ons, like cable TV and that sort of thing, but you can get a landline service included when you buy, and there's a good range of inclusive calling packages as well. KCOM's download and upload speeds are good, but there are some issues with them. The thing we like about KCOM is their maximum speeds are quite good, at 900 megabits, and their upload speeds are also pretty fast. These 2 plans are symmetrical, meaning your download speed matches your upload speed, which isn't the case with most open-reach broadband providers. Though it is worth knowing, the 900 megabit plan isn't symmetrical, you're still limited to a 500 megabit upload speed, and there are faster broadband providers on the market. If the open-reach network is available at your address, for example, you can normally get a download speed of up to 1.6 gigabits per second, though the upload speed will be slower than with KCOM. The main issue with KCOM's download and upload speeds is they can sometimes be a bit inconsistent, but we'll discuss this a bit more later on in the customer service section. KCOM can offer good value for money, but it depends on where you live, because their pricing varies by area, and so does their competitors you can choose between. Outside of Central Hull, which we think is anything higher than an HU17 postcode, including non-HU postcodes, this is the pricing KCOM is offering at the moment. But in their core network area in Hull, you'll pay more, when we're recording this at least. At this HU7 postcode, for example, the prices are around £5 a month higher, though the middle tier option does have a faster download speed, at 500 instead of 300 megabits. The thing is, the closer to the centre of Hull you go, the less competition KCOM has, especially from other big networks like Openreach. So it ends up being that these higher prices are just sort of the market price for broadband in Hull, and they're not extremely expensive given the speeds on offer. If you're looking for a cheaper option, or you don't want to use KCOM in the centre of Hull, check out our video sponsor, the 3 5G Hub. With this device, you can get 5G home broadband for just £17 a month at the moment, with a 30-day money-back guarantee allowing you to test the speeds at your address before committing to the length of the contract. So click the link in the description to the 3 home broadband coverage checker and type in your postcode here to see if you can get their service at your address. KCOM's customer service is fairly good for a large provider, but they're not without their issues. Their support team is UK based, and they have a much higher Trustpilot rating compared to most of the other major providers. They reply to and follow up on negative reviews, which is good to see because the likes of BT don't do this. Installation is typically a pretty smooth process, You're unlikely to run into issues like engineers not turning up at the right time, or them making a big mess, or things like that. But some customers have had issues with inconsistency. There are some reports of dropouts relating to internet and landline services, though not as many as we see with some big OpenReach providers. For example, Vodafone just went offline today, including their OpenReach broadband service, across most or possibly the entire UK. So while they're not perfect, we think that KCOM's customer service and support is quite good, especially for a provider of their size. We think KCOM is not a bad option, but it's definitely worth checking to make sure there aren't any other better deals in your area, especially if you're in an HU1 to HU17 postcode. With these higher prices compared to what's available elsewhere, the 35G hub is considerably cheaper than KCOM, and in some areas of Yorkshire, there are other altnets that offer better prices as well. So click the link in the description to the KCOM website and put in your postcode to see what deals they're offering at your address at the moment. And you might also like to check out the 35G hub coverage checker to compare its pricing to KCOM's when you're watching this. And if you have any questions about KCOM or choosing a broadband provider more broadly, let us know in the comments below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.